Here is my Puerto Rican rice and chicken, Arroz con Pollo. This dish is absolutely delicious and it's a staple in the Puerto Rican cuisine. Let's go over the ingredients and let's get cooking. Before we do that, I need you to subscribe, hit that like button, and don't forget to ring that dinner bell. Now let's give this a try. Absolutely delicious. Arroz con pollo, or rice with chicken. This is a staple in Puerto Rican cuisine, and it's absolutely delicious. Now, I am not Puerto Rican, but I have been studying Puerto Rican food for a few years now, and I've tried to perfect it to the best I can. So if there's any police out there, if you see me doing anything wrong, just go easy with those handcuffs, all right? I ain't looking to kill nobody. Okay, so to start, usually I use one whole chicken. Went to the market, couldn't find a whole chicken. For whatever reason, they're not making whole chickens no more. Okay? Well, at least not this week. So I had to get pieces. I have 8 pieces here. I have 4 thighs and 4 legs. We're going to have 1 green bell pepper, an onion, some cilantro, a couple of bay leaves, garlic. Here we have long grain rice. Here I have Goya sazón, chicken powder, sliced olives, pimentos, salt, pepper, water. Here I have homemade adobo. I have oregano, ground cumin. Here I have achiote oil. Here I have banana leaf. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And I'm going to just fry off some plantains that you probably won't see me do, but yeah, so to start, what we're going to do is we're going to start by taking this chicken, patting it dry with a paper towel. I want it as dry as possible because I want to get a nice sear on these. So what we're going to do is, let's put this here. We're going to start out with about 3 tablespoons of achiote oil. Now, if you don't have achiote oil, you could just go ahead and use vegetable or canola or whatever you have. So let me put this over a medium-high heat. Okay. I don't want to go too high on the heat because I don't want things to burn. Let's lower that. Okay, that's looking good. Now, to start, we're going to start by taking a little bit of the adobo, and we're going to lightly sprinkle the chicken with the adobo. Okay, make sure that's sticking on there. And you can use as much or as little as you want. I tend to go a little light on this because of the salt factor. I mean, although this is homemade adobo, I still add a little bit of salt in there. So let's turn these around. Let's get the other side. You want to make sure all sides are covered. And it's nothing complicated. We're not doing anything complicated here. Okay, so let's get this side done. Okay. And if you don't have homemade adobo, just go ahead and use whatever you can get your hands on and it'll be fine, you know. You don't have to have perfection. All right. Let me go wash my hands here. Let me throw this out. Okay. Give my hands a quick wash. All right. Let me put the cap on this. Okay, now, where's my towel? My towel's over here. What we're going to do to start, we're going to start by searing off the chicken. And we don't want to crowd the pan. If you need to do this in several batches, that's perfectly fine. Put that in there. Put this in here. And it looks like I'm going to have to do this in batches myself. So, anytime you cook Puerto Rican food, what you want to do is, this is a caldero. And basically all my Puerto Rican dishes is done in this one pot. So if you don't have one of these, you need to get one. All right, I think I could squeeze another leg in there. Okay. Let's put that in there. And what we're going to do is we're just going to sear these off until I get a nice golden color on all sides, and then I will take you to the next step. In the meantime, I need you to subscribe, hit that like button, and don't forget to ring that dinner bell. Okay, so I got the second batch in, and the first batch is nicely browned. And what we're going to do now is these vegetables. What we need to do is put this on a 1/4-inch dice, the onion and the bell pepper. So let me cut this up into a 1/4-inch dice. You really want a small batch because what we're doing is basically creating a sofrito. On most Puerto Rican recipes, they use a pre-made sofrito. Because I don't cook Puerto Rican food every single day, if I do it twice a year, you know, that's a lot. So I prefer to do it fresh. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm creating a sofrito. What is a sofrito? A sofrito is bell pepper, onion, garlic, cilantro, sometimes recao. It depends. You know, each recipe is different. Today I'm not putting no recao in here. So let me just check this chicken. Okay, we're getting some nice color on this chicken. Time to turn it. Okay. Okay. Give that a little spin. Let me finish cutting this up. And when I was living in New York, when I was in Brooklyn, I always went to Puerto Rican restaurants, not really knowing how to cook Puerto Rican cuisine because, you know, I'm not Puerto Rican, but when I met my ex, she was Puerto Rican, and I decided to start taking up Puerto Rican cooking, and then when my daughter was born, that's when I really decided to take an interest in Puerto Rican food. And I've been cooking ever since. And it's absolutely delicious. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is, I think it's time for this chicken to come out. Okay, that's good. Let me see this chicken on this side. Okay, so this is done. Okay, what we're going to do is, let me remove this from the heat. Okay. Let me put this over here. Oh, come on, let's go. Okay, he didn't want to come out of the pan right there. So let's put this all on the side. Okay, so now I still have time. I still have time because I still need to chop up some stuff here. So the onion, the same thing. We're going to put the onion. Now, usually I use a medium onion, and I couldn't find any medium onions. It's funny, lately, the garlic, all I could find are these small little tiny heads of garlic, and it's ridiculous. I can't get any decent garlic lately. And lately with the onions, all I could find, no medium onions, no small onions, only these big jumbos. So we're going to use a 1/2 of an extra large onion. Now this has to be on a 1/4 inch dice as well. So let me quickly dice this up. Let me chop up that garlic. And then I will chop up the cilantro, and then I will take you to the next step. Okay, so what I did was I browned off all the chicken already, and I chopped up all the vegetables. So now we're going to return this over a medium heat. You don't want to go too high on the heat on this. Okay, let's just give that a couple of seconds. What we're going to do is we're going to go in with the onion and the bell pepper. So in with that, and we're going to saute this just until the onion becomes soft and translucent. We're not really looking for too much color on this, so that's only going to take about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to saute this until it's soft and translucent, and that should take about 3 to 5 minutes. That's all it's going to take. It's not going to take long at all. Okay, I don't know what happened to that little bit of an onion, but okay, so the bell pepper and the onion is just becoming soft and translucent, and it's just looking fantastic. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go in with the garlic and the cilantro, and we're going to saute this just until it's fragrant. And that's going to only take about 30 seconds. Okay, and this is just looking fantastic. Okay, give that a few more seconds. Okay, I can smell the garlic. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go in with the rice. Now I did not rinse the rice. I do not rinse my rice when I cook Puerto Rican food. That's just how I was taught. So we're going to go in with the chicken powder. We're going to go in with the sazón. And this is sazón with saffron in it. Okay, we're going to go in with the oregano. Make sure that's correct. I measure everything when I do this, and I recently received a message asking me about if you measure or if you shouldn't measure. Okay, so that goes in. Add the cumin. So the message said, and the bay leaf. So the message said, basically they were asking me if they should measure or if they shouldn't measure. And what's the difference? That grandma recipes, she never measured, and all of her recipes and all of her cooking was just fantastic. What's my take on that? Okay, well, you're right. Grandma never actually measured, but she did, okay? When Grandma used to put the ingredient in her hand, she knew approximately how much. And it was about the same every single time. That's how she measured. She never actually went and got measuring spoons and measured. So she didn't really know how much if you asked her how much was in it. But in her own way, she was measuring. What's my take? Should you measure or shouldn't you measure? In my opinion, always measure. Why? Because when you measure, you're going to get the same results every single time. If you're just eyeballing every single time, that recipe is going to come out different every single time. If you want it to come out exact every time, you need to measure. Okay, so I just got all this rice coated in oil, and it's looking fantastic. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go in with the water. Here we go. We're going to season this with salt. We're going to season it with black pepper. We're going to get this a good mix, and we're going to bring it to a boil. Then we're going to return the chicken, and I will show you the next step. Okay, so this is just coming up to a boil. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and return this chicken. You want to return the chicken skin side up. So let's put all these in there, snuggle them in there really nicely. Okay, I did a horrible job on trimming this one. I don't know what happened. It seems like I'm getting lazy in my old age. I don't know. All right, so let's get all this chicken back in. And what we're going to do is we're going to lower the heat to low. We're going to cover this and we're going to simmer this until all that rice has absorbed the liquid and the chicken has cooked through. And that should take about 20 to 25 minutes. Let's get all these juices back in here. Okay, that's looking good. Let me give this a nice little wipe because I don't want to have a messy kitchen. Okay, the banana leaf. When this comes up to a boil, what we're going to do is we're going to cover it with the banana leaf, put the lid on, lower the heat to low, and allow it to simmer for about 20 to 25 minutes until that chicken is cooked through and until the rice absorbs all the liquid. And then I will show you how we're going to plate and serve. In the meantime, while this is simmering away, I think I'm going to cook up some bananas and that'll be that. And then I will show you how we're going to plate and serve it. Okay, so I forgot to mention, when you add the chicken, you need to add the olives. Okay, so it's just coming up to a boil. What we're going to do is we're going to take the banana leaf and we're just going to lightly place it on top. You don't really want to submerge this at all. So let's put that there, right on top. We're going to cover this, lower the heat to low, and allow this to simmer for 20 to 25 minutes. And then I will show you how we're going to plate and serve. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes, give or take. And this rice is just about cooked through. Now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the banana leaf, and this gets discarded. So the banana leaf can go here. You could save it and reuse it if you want. I don't have a purpose of doing that, so I am not doing that. Now what you want to do is grab yourself a bowl. What we're going to do is grab a bowl. We're going to grab some rice. And we're going to put the rice right there in the center. Okay. That's looking good. Grab some chicken. We'll put a piece of chicken right there. I guess I'll grab another leg. Okay, and we'll put the chicken leg right there. What I did was, when you weren't looking, I fried off some bananas. So that's going to go for a garnish. Now what we're going to do is, we're going to put some pimentos just as a garnish. Okay. That's looking good. We're going to take a couple of bananas. The bananas are going to come in like this. I think 3 of them will work just fine. Okay. There you go. Clean the plate. Okay. And there you have it. Puerto Rican chicken and rice. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and don't forget to ring that dinner bell. Now let's give this a try. That is just absolutely delicious. The rice is perfectly cooked. The chicken, let's see, your chicken cut that chicken in half. The chicken is perfectly cooked, and this is just a winner. I hope you guys enjoy. That's it. Now leave me alone. Go away. I'm eating this all by myself. You can't have any. You want some? Go make your own.